Hey, hey, hey. Been good grade. BTS all day. Come on. New year, new gear. New you, we going back to school. Come on. New year, new gear. New you. Come on.
Morning, Westside family. Welcome to the 2025-2026 school year. Whether it is your first year or your last year, we are excited to have you back. I'm going on year 16 and couldn't be more excited to get the year started. Many of you have gone through these videos several times and kind of know what we're going to go through. Talk about a typical day at Westside, talk about some discipline and logistics and some consequences stuff. As always, there's changes every school year, so please make sure you pay attention so that you have the most updated information, and we'll jump right into it. One of the big changes that we have from last year is the entry into the school way. Everybody has to have an ID. Everybody has to wear their ID around their neck. You cannot have it hanging from your book bag. You can't have like a slide one that like connects to like an employee pass. It has to be on a lanyard around your neck. You'll all be provided with a Westside ID. You'll all be provided with a Westside lanyard. If you choose to use a different lanyard, that is fine, but you have to have your ID. You have to wear it around your neck all day long. If you deface your ID or cut it or black out your picture or whatever it is, you'll have to buy a new one, which I don't want anybody to have to do. I'd love for you to be able to keep your ID for the whole school year. But that being said, the lines are going to be long the first couple of days as people try to figure out school. If you come to the front of the line to enter the school and you don't have your ID on, you're going to slow that process down, and we're going to have to wait for you to find your ID and put it around your neck. So as you come in, there'll be signs, but make sure you go ahead and put it on. Another change that we started at the second semester last year is the new electronic device policy, which states that you have to have any electronic device powered off and stored away. It means headphones, earbuds, cell phones, anything that can connect to the internet has to be powered off, and it has to be stored away from the time you enter school until 3:40 with the exit bell. So if you show up, same thing, in the line and you have your phone out or your earbuds are on your head, you're going to slow that line down for everybody who's trying to get inside while we wait for you to power your stuff off and put it away. So go ahead and take care of that piece. If you come in off of a bus, you'll be entering on the 200 hallway side. There'll be some staff people to greet you there and help you. If you're entering from the front circle, the student parking lot, or anywhere else, you'll come in by the main gym lobby. Everybody who enters the school has to be screened through the Evolve process. It's quick and easy, but we'll get you through. But just know that if you come in either side, you will have to have your ID and have your electronics stored away. If you come in off the bus side and you have forgotten your ID, then you will have to walk around to the gym lobby where we make IDs in the gym lobby. Let's go into the schedule, kind of how we transition through the day. You have to be in your seat in your first block by 8:20. If you are not in your seat by 8:20, you are considered tardy. And this year, like last year, every 3 tardies you accumulate adds up to an unexcused absence. That means that you have to make up seat time, you have to come in for Saturday school, and those sorts of things that we're trying to avoid. So make sure that when you get here, you go straight to your holding area, and from your holding area, you go straight to your first block class so that we can avoid some of those tardies. In your first block class, 8:20 to 9:50 is first block, business as usual. Students who have Southwood's second block should be released at 9:45. There's not a bell to dismiss you, so you're going to have to remember at 9:45 to exit and go to the bus parking lot so that you can catch that Southwood bus. That bus leaves at 9:53 every morning. From 9:50 to 10:10 will be an advisory time. Teachers will have more information about what we're going to do during that advisory time. At 10:10, the bell is going to dismiss you to go to your second block class. Just like in the mornings, 5 minutes transition. You have to be in your seat by 10:15. Again, another opportunity to pick up a tardy that ends up leading to failures due to absences and some other things where you're having to come in on Saturdays and you have to pay money to make up time that you could have just gotten there on time. Second block runs from 10:15 to 11:45, and this is when we have our biggest transition. At 11:40, students who have AIT or Southwood are allowed to be dismissed to go to the cafeteria because they're going to have to eat very quickly to get on their bus to their location. And that is only students that have Southwood and AIT. It is not for students that have early dismissal or those that complain that the lunch lines are too long or whatever it may be. Only students who have AIT or Southwood, third block, should be allowed to leave at 11:40. Everyone else is going to dismiss at 11:45, and that's when the rolling lunch periods start. Okay? If you are in the 200 or 300 building, when you are dismissed at 11:45, you will go straight to the cafeteria so that you can grab some food. You have the option to eat in the cafeteria or commons. You'll be in there for your lunch period, and then at 12:20 we will dismiss you to go to your class. Again, that is only classes third block in the 200 or 300 building. If your third block class is in the freshman academy, then you will go to the academy. You'll do 45 minutes of instruction. At 12:35, you'll be released to the cafeteria, and then at 1:05, you'll be dismissed to go back to class and finish the last 45 minutes of instruction. If your class is in the English building, so 900, 1000, the science building, which is a 400 number, or the 600 building, then you will have third lunch. So if you have 900, 1000, 400, or 600, you are going to go to class, you'll do your 90 minutes of instruction, and then you'll be released to go to lunch at 1:25. Lunch will run from 1:25 to 2 o'clock, and then we'll dismiss you to your fourth block class. Same as every other block, 5 minutes of transition time. If you are not in your seat by 2:05, then you are considered tardy. And again, these tardies can add up very quickly, and what it does is results in you having to come on Saturdays or make up time after school, and it's $5 per hour per absence that you're over in your classes. Teachers are going to provide you some more information about that, but it adds up very, very, very quickly, and we want to avoid that. Class will run from 2:05 to 3:40, and then that's when we will dismiss. You will need to go to your holding area or your pickup location in a very expeditious manner. I need you to get there quickly because we're going to try to start calling buses as soon as we can. If you ride buses 4 through 34, then you are going to go to the cafeteria. If you ride 36 through 51, you are going to be in the commons area. If you ride any other mode of transportation, if you're getting picked up in the front circle, you're catching a ride with a sibling or a friend in the student parking lot, then you need to go immediately to those areas so that we can get these areas cleared out and get you home. You cannot hang out in the hallways. You can't hang out in the bus parking lot to wait for your bus. You will be ran off or dealt with some consequences. So make sure you're getting to your holding location quickly so that we can get you out of here and get you home. The last thing I want to talk about is basically some discipline, some things that we see, and then we're going to transition to your discipline test. If you've been here for a while, you already know about it, but there are some changes even to the discipline and logistical side of things that we do on a day-to-day basis. One thing that hasn't changed is the school limits. There are 7 limits within the school that kind of define the consequences and kind of define how behavior should happen at the school. 6 of those are an automatic referral, and let me get into those. The first one of those is physically injure yourself or threaten to injure others. This means horseplay, slapping each other, touching each other, running in the hallways, those sorts of things. Something that you could injure yourself or injure others is an automatic referral and will be dealt with, with one of the assistant principals. The second one is discriminating against others, making fun of somebody because of the way they dress, the way they speak, the way they read, something like that. Any form of discrimination is an automatic referral, and you'll be removed from class and will have to deal with some consequences. The third one that is an automatic referral is damage or destroy materials. Even if it's your own stuff. You can't throw books against the wall. You can't break your Chromebook. You can't tear pages out of a textbook. You can't do those things. that would result in an automatic referral. The fourth one is steal from others. Not only others like physical property, but this would also be cheating on a test or like intellectual property where you take something of someone else's. So you cannot do that. That would also result in an automatic referral and some consequences that come with it. Imposed on others. So forcing somebody to do something for you, putting your feet on their desk and they tell you to take them off and you refuse, forcing somebody to give you their Chromebook charger or whatever it may be. You can't force your will onto someone else. That would also be an automatic referral. The last automatic referral is misrepresenting to others. That would be lying about why you're tardy, lying about a parent note or why you were absent, or giving a wrong name to a teacher who asked you a question in the hallway. Some of those things would be misrepresenting, automatic referral. The last one, and the most common one that we deal with on a day-to-day basis inside the classroom, is interference. Basically interfering with the learning environment. It can be tapping on the desk, making noises, talking to your buddy across the classroom without permission, some of those things that would interrupt the ability for the teacher to teach or others in the classroom to learn. And it's a progressive process. It's essentially a 3 strikes and you're out process. First time it happens, teacher gives you a warning. Hey, Mr. Thomason, I need you to stop talking across the room. That's your warning. Second one is a teacher detention. That can happen before school, after school, during lunch. You'll set it up with that teacher, but you have to show up for that teacher detention. And then the third and final time that it happens in the class, you'll be removed by security, and then you'll have to come meet with an assistant principal and talk about what's going on. So a 3 strikes and you're out process: warning, teacher detention, and removal. It's also progressive. If you continually do this, we're going to skip that middle step, and it's going to be a warning, and it's going to be removal from the classroom, and we don't want to get to that point. Need you in class, need you getting your instruction, and need you to score well on your test and then score well on your standardized test. In the next part, we're going to kind of go through some of the common issues that we see, or the most of the incidents that occur that we see on a daily basis where we have to remind students. And this is going to be a part of the handbook test. So the handbook test is 16 questions, and I'm going to go question by question and explain some of these in a little bit more detail. Some of them are pretty straightforward to make sure everybody kind of understands so we're all on the same page. Question number 1, students must blank a school-issued ID when they arrive to school. If they do not have their school-issued ID, they must get a new ID printed. Students must wear their own ID and must not deface or damage their ID. The answer to number 1 is wear. You have to wear it, and wear it doesn't mean on your book bag, in your back pocket, in your wallet. It means that it has to be on a lanyard around your neck. So number 1, wear ID. 2, before entering the school, students must blank all personal electronic communication devices and blank them in their book bag. Students must keep them powered off or stored in their bag until dismissal from school. Failure to do so will result in discipline consequences. So, before entering the school, students must turn off all electronic communication devices and store them in their book bag. It has to be stored away, and it's not in a pocket, not in the side part of your pants or anything like that. It literally has to be powered off and put in a purse or a book bag. Number 3, all students entering the school must be screened by the Evolve system. Drivers, car riders, and walkers must enter the school through the gym lobby. Bus riders will enter from the 200 hall entrance. All students will report to the cafeteria or commons. Those are the 2 holding areas until 8:10, and then you'll be dismissed to go to your first block class. So everybody that comes in the school before 8:10 must report to the cafeteria or commons. Upon the 8:10 dismissal bell, students will not be allowed to hang out in the hallways, roam the hallways, stand against the wall, or talk to their friends. Students must go directly to their blank block class. You got to go directly to your first block class. If your first block class is in the 200 building, then there's no reason for you to be in the 600 or the science building or the English building. If we see that you're making those moves and just wandering around, we'll deal with it with disciplinary consequences, but you are to report to your first block class as you are dismissed from those areas. Number 5, students are considered tardy to school or class if they are not in their blank when the bell rings. In your seat. It can't be that you're running down the hallway or flagging your teacher down, I'm almost there. You have to be in your seat when the bell rings. And for every 3 tardies, you get an unexcused absence. And again, these add up very quickly and result in you having to come in and pay to come to school later on so that you can earn your credits. All right, number 6. For every blank number of tardies, students will receive an unexcused absence. Just went into it. Every 3. Some of our seniors and some of our upperclassmen last year found out about this the hard way. They thought that it would go away, but it does not. It's calculated at the very end, and then you have to make that time up. We'll be providing opportunities throughout the school year to stay after school, to come in on Saturdays, but it is also $5 for every hour that you have to make up for every unexcused absence. So any over 5 on a semester class or 10 on a year long. So make sure you're getting to class on time. 7, upon arrival, students must enter the school and may not leave campus unless they are properly signed out in the blank office. You have to sign out in the front office. Your parents must come in to sign you out. You cannot sign yourself out. Even if you're 18, you cannot sign yourself out. Students may not be signed out after blank, 3:15. You can't sign out after 3:15. Front circle gets very backed up and packed anyways, so you probably wouldn't be able to get out. So don't sign out after 3:15. Number 8, blank are solely responsible for any personal electronic device that they bring to school. Administration at Westside High School blank blank search for lost or stolen devices. Administration at Westside High School will not search for lost or stolen devices. Keep your stowed away and keep it in your bag with you, and then we'll have no problems. But like, we can't go find phones or Nintendo DS or headphones that you leave in a bathroom and then walk off, and then an hour later you want us to come find them. We don't have time to do those things, so make sure that you keep your stuff on you and stowed away. Number 9, students must be granted a blank blank or emergency pass to leave the classroom. Students must go to their designated location in a timely manner. If students are caught in other locations, they will receive disciplinary consequences and restroom privileges will be removed. If a student exceeds their daily allotment of passes, they will not be permitted another. So this is something new for this year. So students must be granted a Smart Pass. To get a pass, you're going to access Smart Pass from your Chromebook, and the teacher is going to allow you to go to the restroom. If you are, go by my office. If you're on the 200 side by my office and you are a male going to the restroom, then you'll go to the 200 bus side restroom. There are only 2 students allowed per hallway, per bathroom out at a time. It will put you in a queue when you're next available to go as students come in. So if I walk into a bathroom and I see 4 young men in there, I know that 2 of them are not in there where they're supposed to be, and they're going to lose their ability to leave the classroom. We have overcrowded bathrooms, and there's only so many stalls in there, so there's no reason for them to be that way. You also only get 2 passes per day. So if you burn your 2 passes in first block, you will not be provided an opportunity to get more passes later on. It ends with those 2 passes, so make sure you use them as you need to. You can go to the restroom before school, you can go to the restroom during lunch, you can go to the restroom after school, and you can go to the restroom during class changes. So just be smart about using your passes. Number 10, no student may possess, use, or distribute any object, device, or instrument in the appearance of a blank, including but not limited to look-alike guns, water guns, toy guns, non-functioning replicas of guns, BB guns, or pellet guns. So the answer to that one is gun, obviously. Whether it's a water gun, a BB gun, a play gun, a toy gun, all of that stuff leads to recommendations for alternative placement. Guns are no places in schools. So having a gun or having a BB gun or a replica gun or anything like that will get you recommended for alternative school. Number 11, While on school grounds, in school buildings, on buses, or school-related functions, students will not possess any item capable of inflicting harm, hereinafter referred to as a weapon, to persons or property. No vehicles in school property may contain firearms or knives with a blade of blank inches or more, 3.5. The reason that is important is that if you have a knife in your car that is over 3.5 inches, you can be charged by the police. You are not to have knives, razors, box cutters, any of that stuff in your car. But if it is over 3.5 inches, it is against the federal law and you can be charged as such. Number 12, students that interfere with class blank numbers of times will be removed from the classroom. 3, if you are interfering in the class 3 times, you are going to be removed, taken to an assistant principal, and dealt with some consequences. Number 13, Westside High School does not allow the use or does not allow students to possess tobacco products or tobacco paraphernalia, including vapes. You cannot have vapes. Students will receive disciplinary consequences and any such items will not be returned. In addition, students' blank privileges during class time may be revoked. If you are going to the restroom to use vapes and you're found in there, then we're going to remove your ability to go to the restroom. Restrooms are simply for using the restroom, so make sure you use them as such. Number 14, students are blank allowed to have anyone bring them food and are also blank allowed to have outside vendors deliver food. Vendors will be turned away from the school and the school is not responsible for payments for food. Students are not allowed to have people bring them food, and students are not allowed to have outside vendors like DoorDash or Grubhub deliver to the school. If you do, the drivers are going to be turned away and you're still going to have to pay for that food. We do not want people that we do not know or do not expect to be on our campus on campus. It is a huge safety concern, so you are not allowed to bring people to bring you food. Number 15, students are not allowed to blank blank for lunch and return. Failure to comply will result in disciplinary consequences and loss of driving privileges. I get this one all the time. I didn't know I couldn't leave campus to go to lunch. Nobody in the school, teachers included, are allowed to leave for lunch and then come back. If you have AIT, you are allowed to leave at 11:40 and you can go to lunch and then go to AIT. Those are the only students in the entire school that are allowed. You are not allowed to go out in the parking lot and eat your lunch in the parking lot. Cafeteria and commons are the only places you can be during this time. So make sure we all understand, because your driving privileges are going to be revoked if you leave campus and you continue to come back. Number 16, last one. If a student leaves the school building without supervision of a faculty member, so if you're PE and you're going outside and you're with a teacher, perfectly fine. But if you go outside for some reason by yourself, you must re-enter the school at the gym lobby. Most often this occurs when you leave your book bag in your car and we give you permission to go back to your car. You can't enter into that same door. You still have to go around to the gym lobby and be screened through the evolve process once again. So any student who leaves and goes to the exterior of the school must come back in through the evolve gym lobby entrance unless they are with a teacher who has a key to let them in. So there are signs posted everywhere that say this. There are also new signs up that says don't prop a door open for anyone. Even if it's somebody that you know, don't pop the door and let them come in, because you're ultimately responsible for whatever they do, and you're responsible for the consequences that come, since there are signs up that says you can't come in that way. Hope we have a great year. I know we will. If you have questions, see your teachers. If you have questions that they can't answer, I'm sure they'll come find me. Look forward to a great school year. And in the immortal words of Mr. Roberts, as always, go Rams.
So I'm like, paper, check, pencil, check, notebook, check, mindset, success, look, my mind is a gold mine. Summer's over, so it's go time. I'm ready to go back. Put on my thing.